Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing my Blossom project using the Blossom kit from Planners Anonymous. I'm making this little TN protector cover kind of thing. So if you want to see how I made it, then just keep watching. Alright, so to start off with, we need to get in what is left of my Blossom kit. There is still plenty, but I still get guilt for actually using this. So I'm grabbing out the die cuts. So I've got the die cuts and then the die cut card. I don't actually know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm going to call it. And I'm also going to grab out this piece of paper, which I have used already, like the other sheet, in my weekly decoration, but I haven't used it. I haven't used this bit. So to start off with, what we need to do is cut this piece of paper to size, so then we can mount this bit on the top. So I want this to be my inside and this to be my outside, which then therefore this side's going to be the back. So to do that, we need to measure out and score and cut. So this bit of card here is 12.7. So what I'm going to do is measure 12.7 off each side. And I'm going to be very, 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 very careful when I do this. And I'm also being very gentle where I mark that line. And then doing the 12.7 on this side as well. And that's then going to give us our score lines. So then I'm going to grab in my scoreboard because I want to be extra particularly 100% sure that these are going to be straight. Just grabbing my scoring pencil. Could use, actually, no, I will use this one. Sometimes I and wonder if I should use my score, like my little score tool instead, but I'm just gently pushing that down. I am being pretty gentle with it because I'd rather go over it a couple of times and get that score that way as opposed to pushing too hard and actually going through the cardboard, because that's going to stuff up everything. Okay. That's all we need the scoreboard for. We're now done with that. So then we're going to fold these over to give us our actual kind of folds. And I'm just grabbing this in and just pushing gently to give us a nice crisp fold. Doing that on both edges. The fact that that's lined up pretty well means I've done that right. It's a little bit not quite straight, so I'm just going to fix that. That's pretty good. Alright, so there's the basic shape of our little folder. And if I get in my notebook, you'll see that that's fitting in basically perfectly. So this little notebook's kind of like the template for all of this. I've got all my other notebooks in here. But then we're going to stick this on the top, which is then also going to completely give us how we're going to cut this off at the top. I'm going to have to trim off just a little bit, I think. Maybe. It might sit just nicely. So I'm going to grab my glue tape, and then I'm just going to run the glue all the way around the outside. I want to get as close to the edge as I can, because I do want it to be obviously stuck right to the edges, and I am just going to put a little bit down the middle as well. I'm going to push this up as close to the spine as I can and keeping it straight on the bottom. I'm only going to get one shot at this, so I'm being super quadruple careful. I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to cut down that side. I think it's okay. And then all you're going to do is trim off the top. And that's actually really simple. We're just going to get our trimmer in. And because it's folded over, it's going to cut exactly where I want it to. As long as my blade agrees with me, which it still hasn't been doing lately. We're still waiting on the new ones to come. They're not far away. This is the scary part. So I want to do this in one big swipe. Please. Haha! Success. And there you have the little folder. That's the easy part of it, at least. So now we actually get to embellish this a little bit. So I'm going to try something a little bit tricky, and I'm going to put the pocket on here before I laminate it, because then when I've laminated it, I should be able to cut and you'll be able to slide in and they'll both be laminated. I'm being very tricky. I'm risking it here, but I think it will work. I've done it with other pockets before, so there's no reason that it shouldn't. So I'm just going to fold up the pocket. So there's a little pocket folded, and it's going to sit just nicely on the outside. You could put it on the inside if you wanted. It's not really, it doesn't really matter either way. I'm just trying to think what would be better. I might put it on the inside because that way it's a little bit more protected. I'm just grabbing in a piece of scrap paper just to help me while I glue this down. And then the way I always do this is I put it down on the bottom first, making sure it's mildly straight, and then you can fold those in and push and you'll get the pocket down where you want it to. Okay, pocket in place, folds where I want them, bit on the front. The only other thing I want to add is I want to put a little quote here on the front, and it's just, this is just me being extra. So I'm just grabbing the quotes out of the sticker kit. And I want this one here that says busy blooming, come back later. I'm just going to be really gentle when I pull this off. And I'm just going to put it just here, because I just think it looks really cool sort of underneath the tree. Just adds a little bit. And now I'm really tempted to just put another. I was playing with the die cuts before, and I was just really tempted to put this on the top. Where did it go? I just don't want to overdo the front. I was just really tempted just to put that on the front. I just think it looks really good, but at the same time I don't want to overpower any of this. I might actually leave it because I'll turn it into a paper clip for when I actually use this kit, like use the inserts in this month's TN setup, which I'll show you guys at a later stage. Alright, so now we get to actually laminate this, and this is the part I find scary. So I'm just grabbing my matte laminating pouches. You can use gloss if you like. I just prefer matte. I think it gives a nicer finish. So these are obviously A4, so this is going to fit perfectly. Put that in there. Just trying to keep it as straight in there as I can so I can actually use that as an edge. We're going to grab our laminator in. I am just using my normal laminator this time because I can't be bothered getting my mint down. Just making sure it's turned to hot. I'm just making sure this is straight, because something about, I'm just looking at it and it doesn't look straight to me. It's 1.7. Yeah, that's not straight. So while we're waiting for this to heat up, very noisily I might mention, I'm just going to try and get this to at least look a little bit straight. If it's not straight, that's okay, as in I know the paper is straight. If it's not in here straight, that's alright, because we can fix it. It's just, if I've got an edge that's straight, that just helps. Okay, so the laminate is now all heated up. I have got this in straight, or as straight as I think I'm going to get it. I am awfully nervous about sending it through here, only because I haven't used this laminator in a little while. But I have faith, I'm having faith, and I'm going to go ahead and put this through. I don't need to push this down. As this sucks through, it'll make this flat, so I'm not worried about the pocket much. But here we go. So it's been through. I'm not particularly happy with it's just got a little bit of an air bubble thing happening around here. So I'm just going to give that just a little bit of a push. I don't know if this is going to work, just FYI. But I'm just giving it a bit of a push, and I'm just going to send it back through again, just sort of hoping it's going to give me a little bit more, just a little bit more. It might not do anything, but we'll give it a shot. Alright, so that didn't do all that much. It did a little, like looking at it, it did just a tinsy little bit, but not enough to really make me happy, but that's okay. We'll just have to give it just a slightly wider lip around the outside, which is fine. The lip around here is going to be too big anyway, so when you put it into the strings, it'll fold up, so that's absolutely fine. It's just going to be slightly wider around the outside. So this is where we get our trimmer back in. And this is where I'm really banking on this side being straight, because I'm going to use it as my straight edge for the rest of it. I'm just having a quick look at where that air pocket is. So I'm just making sure that's straight. I'm using my eye just to check that it is, as in, I'm obviously using my eyes, but you know what I mean. Just looking at that sort of critically, just to make sure that's straight. Yeah, she's still stuck, so we're good. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing all the way around. So from here, what I need to do is re-score these so they fold over again. So I'm grabbing my scoreboard back up, I'm finding the line, and then I'm just scoring down that same line again. Because the fold's already in the cardboard, it's going to fold over fine. Just at the edge here, it's not being kind to me. So I'll give that a fold over. So there's our little folder, perfectly done. It's actually straight, I'm really proud. I am gonna just round those corners off, just because they're annoying me more than anything else. So I'm just grabbing my tab punch board. I'm grabbing this one because the corner round is a little bit smaller on this one than on my envelope punch board. But all I know is because I'm using plastic, this doesn't like me as much, and it tends to do this, so I'm just checking it before I do it, which I'm glad I did now. Okay, I'm cutting them by hand, I don't trust it. So just do it with scissors, just to be safer. No, they won't be perfect, but at least I know I won't mess it up. There we go, and I can hear you all screaming at me, but what about the pocket? I'm getting to that. So we're going to get our knife in, just making sure it's not too sticky. I'm going to grab my ruler just to give me a bit of a hand here. So I want to cut at the top. Yes, I've got my head right over this. Try and get this. So I'm just pushing very lightly because I don't want to go through the cardboard. I just want to go through the plastic. I'm actually going to do this side freehand. Because this is raised, it is allowing me to do this. Like it's not really hard to get through. This is the part that I'm a little bit nervous about because I've got to go freehand and not mess it up. So I'm just being very gentle. Do not want to go through both bits. There will be a little bit of a mark on the back, just be aware. Just need to finish that off. Come on. I can feel you coming loose. There you are. And there you have your little pocket. I know it doesn't look like it, but there is a pocket there. And I always just run something sort of along the edge just to get it all sorted. There is that pot, like the cardboard on the inside there, so sometimes it feels like it's getting stuck, but that's not getting stuck on the plastic, it's getting stuck on the little bit on the inside there. And then we have our little folder. Pretty simple. Not too complicated, but gives us a bit of a dashboard protector style thing on our TN, which has gone where. So to show you then how to put it in place, I'm going to take all my notebooks out. That's the one that I'm going to be using next month. I haven't started playing with it yet, but I'm very excited to. Now, as I said, this is going to look like it's too big. It will fit. These will stretch. That's what strings do. But you will need to just give it a bit of help. So you need to stretch the strings to pull this through. So get them in place. And then you want to fold these either in or outwards. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you think looks better. I think inwards looks better. Go. So it's got the little fold there. Yes, it will look like that, but that's still okay. It's still being protected. Everything's still in where it needs to be. And then you can put your notebooks back. You've got all the little notebooks in there, but they're protected by this little plastic thing at the front. And you can use this to do lots of different things. Like if you don't want to use it to protect it, you could easily put some more pockets or anything on the inside. You can use it to protect different things. If you wanted to sort of run through some quote cards and have them stuck like that, you could do that too. But it's just a nice little way to really get it, really just protect it. And I think it just gives it a nice little extra something. So that is my little TN protector, I guess I'm going to call it, TN dashboard, something like that, that has its own little sticker pocket at the back. Let me know down below what you think of this project and if you'd like to see me do it with something else. I'm happy to give it a shot, maybe with something from the Hello Universe TN kit so that it all matches, or perhaps when we get Space Whale, sorry, not Space Whale, Whale Song, which should be arriving very, very shortly if it hasn't already. So I'm very excited to share that with you very, very soon. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and be subscribed so you don't miss any further of my Planners Anonymous style videos. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic, fantastic day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!